Hi, everybody. My name is Lindsay, and I'm a Bravoholic.
You're preaching to the choir. Bravo, bravo, bravo.
Honey, you have to stop saying that.
Bravoholics Anonymous.
Well, welcome back to Bravoholics Anonymous, your weekly support group for all things reality TV. And if you're new here, this is a safe space where reality TV addicts and pop culture obsessives come to break down the drama one meltdown at a time. I'm Lindsay St. Laurent, your host of Bravoholics Anonymous, and welcome to this week's meeting. Last week we did an episode of Bravoholics Book Club highlighting Cake Eater by Carl Radke, which I actually recorded from the Hamptons. So check it out. It is wherever you're listening to this podcast or on YouTube if you want to watch the video version, which I highly recommend, because in that episode, I also do a walkthrough tour and attend a screening event of a Summer House episode screening at Carl's Bar in Greenpoint, New York, or Brooklyn. So check it out. It's great to have you back. Welcome back, everybody. I hope there's some new people here too. I want to say hi to all of our international listeners as well. It doesn't surprise me that Bravoholics are all over the planet, and it's great to have you as well. Wherever you're listening from, this is what brings us together. And it's the 20th year anniversary of Housewives. And I'm so excited because Bravo has rolled out the red carpet and filmed an Ultimate Girls Trip 20th season for us to watch. And today we are going to be talking about episodes 1 and 2 of that show. So hopefully you've watched it. And if you haven't, you could listen to this and recap instead. You know, whatever you want, whatever tickles your pickle. So to kick it off, let's talk about which housewives are going to be joining us on this season. I'm going to go through each one and I'm going to tell you how I feel about it, because isn't that why we're all here? So first up, we have Lisa Barlow, my favorite Salt Lake City housewife. Don't come for me, okay? She's an icon and I'm so happy she's here. I think she's a great little jelly to be in there with the peanut butter and bread of this season. Lisa Barlow is an icon. She is a very recognizable housewife, arguably one of the most recognizable from Salt Lake City. And I also think she really needed this girls' trip because she's been having a hard go on her show lately. Not just being an icon, but being kind of split in the middle between Meredith Marks's drama and the other housewives' dramas on the show. They've all been coming for her, expecting her to hold Meredith accountable or do all these other things. And I just feel like she's not having very much fun lately. There's been lots of tears at a Barlow on Salt Lake City. So I'm so excited to see her on this girls' trip. And hopefully, she can let loose a little bit and do what she loves. Kyle loves to shop. Barlow loves to shop. Let's get them shopping. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Next, we have Gizelle Bryant from the Housewives of Potomac. And I have not yet watched Potomac. And don't come for me. Don't start commenting right now. How can you have a podcast about Bravo and not have seen Potomac yet? There are shows that I'm intentionally savoring and saving because I want to watch them with you guys. I want the audience to be big enough where we can sit and watch them together. And there are things that I'm seeing with fresh eyes for the first time. And I know Potomac is such a good show. I have seen some episodes, admittedly, at the gym and stuff. But I know it's such a good show that I'm really excited to watch it with you guys. So hopefully that's coming down the pipeline. Next, we have my favorite New York City housewife. I love this cast. Okay. My next and favorite New York City housewife is, of course, the Countess Luann de Lesseps. And I'm so excited she's there because she's another great glue. I think she can understand some of the more posh and uptight cast members because she's dealt with a Ramona before. So maybe Vicki will be a soft landing ground for her. She can translate a little bit because Tamara's not there to translate for Vicki. I think Kyle's a good translator too for someone that's more hoity-toity because she dealt with Vanderpump. There's certain dynamics that certain women of the Housewives casts are used to filling on their shows. And I feel like some of the archetypes could bleed over where it feels like familiar ground a little bit. And they could be translators. If that makes sense, I don't know. But I'm excited Luann's there because she loves men. She loves the prowl. She just came off Love Hotel with Gizelle. So they have kind of a relationship thing going. I think it's positive. I didn't see anything negative. We talked about that on this show if you watched Love Hotel and were with us for that. If not, we'll be here for the next one, I guess, hopefully. And I love Luann. I love what she wears. I love how she carries herself. I love what she decides to check people on. And so I think that's really exciting. Teresa Giudice is back from the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and everyone loves Teresa. Teresa has definitely had a softer energy since, the prison sentence. Let's just be hard and real about it. I watched her on House of Villains, and she had this softness to her. I love Teresa. I love second chapter Teresa, and I hope that her Housewives career continues and is long and prosperous. And I hope that she's not constantly being dragged back down to like where she came from and the prison stuff and her ex-husband and that, because she's moved on and her energy is totally different. Next, I have Vicki Gunvalson. We all know from BravoCon last year that she got her RHONJ back and she's going to be coming back to Orange County. I'm really curious where things are going to go for the Tres Amigas now that Vicki's back, because Vicki was always someone who, checked Tamra for being too hard on Shannon. Shannon's very fragile. She's still looking fragile. We'll get into it on this episode, but Love Hotel, Shannon was a mess. I'll be honest. I talked about it on this show. I didn't think she was in a good headspace to even be dating on the show, but I don't care. I love them messy, okay? And if they are consenting adults and they're like, I want the paycheck, I'm signing up, I'm going to do it, and then they're going to be messy waste cases, I'm going to watch it. I don't care how dark it gets. I watch The Value, guys, okay? So challenge me on that. I don't care how dark it gets. Next, we have Kyle Richards. Listen, I have some Kyle burnout. I think a lot of us have some Kyle burnout. And I think it's just because she's been around the now longest. Vicki's back to try to, nip at her heels a little bit. But Kyle's the longest running continuously. And I have a little burnout of her on Beverly Hills because I just feel like there's a lot she doesn't want to talk about. There's a lot of producing that she's doing. And it hasn't been satisfying. But I'm hoping maybe with the new housewife mix, each of them are going to be playing hostess in their own cities. I'm hoping that Kyle gets a little refreshing for me. We'll see. I don't know. I think the only thing that could really get me excited about Kyle is if Kim Richards comes back. And I know, you guys, I just said how unhealthy I am. I admit it. This is a support group, okay? And you have to support me. You have to support me in my toxic addiction to toxic, crazy people on reality TV. And if they are addicts too, that just makes sense, okay? So if you think I'm a bad person for that, this isn't the space. You aren't addicted enough. You should come back later. But for everyone that's staying because you are unhealthy and addicted and you love the drama, stick around. All right. Next and finally, Porsha Williams. Honestly, for me, Porsha is like the hottest housewife in Housewives history. She has been stunting since day one, and I am obsessed with Porsha. I'm obsessed. I love her. I love her fashion. I love her energy. I love that she's just like a party girl. I love her arc. I love where she came from, literally being a housewife and a sugar baby situation where he'd dress her up like a doll to now this vavavoom goddess that we have gracing our screens. I love Porsha. Real Housewives of Atlanta, obviously, if you didn't know, since I said everybody else, Kyle Richards, Beverly Hills. Okay, so we are going to be going through each of their cities, which I think is really a great concept. They're starting in Orange County, then they're going to Beverly Hills, then they're going to Atlanta, then Miami, and then New York, where they'll end at Bluestone Manor, made famous by the one and the only. I can't believe I spaced on her name. Who am I? Dorinda. Wow. Take my card. Take it. by the one and the only Dorinda Medley. We've heard her talk about it. We've seen her make it nice. I think I have a birthday card somewhere I'm sending to a friend that says that on it. Spoiler if they're listening. She was on Traitors twice because she got cut so early the first time. I think they did all that because of this trip. Like, I think she got the grace on Traitors because she was hosting girls trip at Bluestone Manor and they wanted to still make her appealing. There was all these rumors on Traitors this season of Dorinda getting into it with other castmates on the show and it not making air, which sounds criminal to us. But when I think about Peacock aligning the stars for Ultimate Girls Trip or knowing that they're going to go filming at their estate, and if she's not happy, she's going to raise a stink and end all of that, then it makes sense why they gave her a good cut and didn't show her like being a catty shrew or a messy drunk or something to someone on that show for Traitors. So while it was a bummer because I feel like we didn't get real Dorinda on Traitors, we just got this fragile woman that was afraid to be murdered and cut off the show every night. She didn't really spread her wings and give us the drama we love. I'm sure she'll oversell it on this season of Girls Trip when they get to her place at the end. But we are starting off in the one, the only Orange County. Why? Because that's where Housewives started. It started in Orange County. So I thought it was great that they're starting in Orange County. Plus, Vicki's back. Big exciting news. Big splash. She's the host of this first episode while they're in Orange County. But before they get there, Porsha does a scene with the one and only Nene Leakes, another iconic housewife from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you are unaware, that's something you need to go back and become aware of because Nene Leakes is just Housewives icon, okay? And Atlanta is a trailblazer of housewives. I know Orange County likes to think they are, and they were the first, so yeah, sure, whatever. You guys don't hate me, but I just think Atlanta did more. It brought more drama, it brought more next level, it brought more cattiness, pettiness, more expense, more critiquing of where the women are spending their money, how they're decorating their houses, how their houses are being built. Obsessed with Atlanta and Nene Leakes. I couldn't recognize her though. Like, no tea, no shade. I couldn't recognize. If Nene Leakes walked by me on the street, the Nene Leakes I saw on this show, I feel so bad saying that because you don't want to like, she looks great. She does. She looks great. Maybe I'm just used to pixie cut Nene. Maybe pixie cut Nene is like what's foundational in my head because then she went and was on that other show, like not Modern Family, but like NBC tried to do a version of that called like The Today Family, or a CBS did something like that. I forget what it was called. Don't kill me. But Nene Leakes was on it and she had the short hair. And I just feel like that was peak climax Nene. I love the short hair. So I didn't recognize her until like the thing came up and I heard her voice. And I was like, oh my God, it's Nene Leakes. Wow. So she looks so good. Her and Porsha do a little scene and Porsha tells us that she Chrishelled it, you guys. Selling Sunset, Chrishell. She Chrishelled it. She's with a woman now. Porsha's with a chick. No wonder she's glowing and looks so amazing. I love her. Bye, queen. Yes. Yes, Porsha. You look so good. I'm shocked that she went full Chrishell. I never would have thought I mean, every woman could. Let's be honest. But she did it. She's so hot and fashionable, that Porsha. She even got a girlfriend. Like, I love it. Okay. If I could add to this housewife lineup before we get into it, I was trying to think about like, who would I add? Who would I add to this lineup to make it really compatible? This is a really good core show. And I'm happy they put Gizelle in from Potomac, not just for how beautiful she is, but I know she has a good relationship with Porsha and she has a relationship with Shannon, who's going to be in this first episode. People from Love Hotel. I think she's a natural integration. She's fearless. I'm like, who from what show would have I loved to see? Honestly, you guys, it's Lisa Vanderpump. I know everyone's sick of her and half the people hate her for the press and she would never do it. But if there was a world where she would do it, and this was where she came back, and maybe she will in this, maybe she'll show up at this party. I doubt it. She's on to other pastures. But I would love to see where Kyle's at in her life now, trying to rekindle things with Lisa Vanderpump, because they used to kick their feet up and giggle so much. They were a thing. And like, It got so dark and twisted. Who else would be really good? I love Heather Dubrow. I really do. I think she's a little uptight, and we have a couple uptighties that are coming through. So, like Kyle's been uptight lately. Heather could be a little uptight too. Who else am I missing? Well, what about Heather from Salt Lake City? Heather Gay is a good time. And I think Lisa needs the break from her castmates, but Heather Gay would have been a good party time on this show as well. And the energy of the cast is very positive, very party time. Like, we're going to get into it and have fun. And I actually like that the energy is fun and not like fabricated drama. For real. Other people I really hope to see on the season, I don't know, Brandi Glanville. Wouldn't that be wild? She needs the paycheck. I'd love to see her show up. Teddy Mellencamp, maybe? I don't know. She does the podcast with Tamra. Maybe she'll be in Orange County. I don't know. Obviously, New York needs to be a banger. I want all the OG New York girls there. It's hard. Everyone's so good. I feel like I'm just leaving people out left and right. Okay. Hold on, my dog needs something. What? Come lay down. Come lay down. Being a dick. All right, so Teresa kicks it off and goes, I asked ChatGPT who the most iconic housewife was, and it said me. And I was like, okay, that's very Teresa. Teresa would be a very big ChatGPT user, and she would think that's valid enough. And I think it is. I can see ChatGPT answering that as Teresa. She's done a lot. She's flipped tables and she went to jail. I mean, what else could you get? Okay, so we're going to Orange County, and Vicki has 2 events planned for the girlies. They are going on a boat, and then they're playing this bunco game, which I know is like an older ladies' parlor game. They used to do party nights for bunco. It's kind of like Yahtzee, but you sit in different groups and you shuffle around tournament style, and you like roll the dice. And yeah, it's very like 1950s housewife, like poker night in, but it's called bunco. And it kind of seems fun until they all start screaming their fucking heads off. I'm just like, I know you all want camera attention and you all want to show that like Orange County's fun and you guys are the most fun housewives and you're kicking it off, so you're playing it up, but like Tamara screaming and everything was just too much. And then honestly, it occupied so much space because then all the housewives just talked about how much screaming there was. And I was like, is this what this episode is going to be? It's kind of a wash. Vicki's gifts. She walks in and she gives everybody a tote bag with a clipboard with insurance papers attached to them. Like it's a 3-way press to print thing. It's a gimmick. I know she's trying to be funny and she's coming in like, I'm all business. I'm Vicki. I'm business. This has always been her brand and like what she's trying to push. But honestly, like, Vicki, did you get the memo? Insurance is out. Did you get the memo? Like, no one has money and no one is going to buy life insurance these days. If we die, we're just dying. That's the millennial way, okay? Boomers are out, millennials are here, and we're not buying insurance, especially life insurance. I'm probably wrong for that, but like, I don't know. I'd rather go to Europe now than worry about an estate when I die. That's just not, there's no estate. There's nothing to will. Vicki, no one wants your insurance, and it's annoying. And it was also annoying when she pulls out her laptop on the Sprinter van later. I'll get to it. But I'm kind of like, didn't you contract? Aren't you supposed to be like filming this show, not doing your other job? Okay. It's probably just her way of hiding. Okay. So they go around the table or the boat, like table, whatever, and they're talking about all their most iconic moments as housewives. There's these cardboard cutouts and they're all looking at how, yesteryear they were. Look what they look like, who looks the most different. Vicki's a little shady and she says that Teresa looks the most different. And Teresa's sensitive now, you guys. That's going to definitely come up again. You could tell it would hurt her. She's just really tender. I think prison just rubbed her raw, It's not like she came out tougher. She came out a diamond. She was a little rock, a pebble when she went in there. And all that abrasion and the hard time of it that she got through made her a soft little pebble, soft little diamond. I don't know where I'm going with this. But yeah, so I knew that was going to hurt her, but everyone's looking at and they all look so different, you guys. Everyone looks so different from the cardboard cutouts. But it's okay. They all look better now. Like Kyle, new nose, way better. Kyle looks way better. I love her new nose. So then they start going over their most iconic moments, and Vicki kicks it off, and she starts talking about visiting her son in college, and then everyone's interrupting her, so she screams like, ah! And I'm like, oh my God. Maybe I didn't miss Vicki. Maybe I didn't miss her. So then she goes back and talks about how she went and visited her son when he went away to college, and she showed up and they all like, you know, he didn't expect to see her, and she partied with those boys in the dorm. And then Porsha talks about when Kenya brought this like megaphone to the reality show and how it pretty much changed the game when it came to bringing props to a reunion, which later becomes like receipts and stuff, you know? So kind of trailblazy. And a good one for Porsha, because Portia's not like the girl that's out there getting these massive sound bites and ad libs on quotes on stuff. Like, she's usually in the center of the drama and someone else is like, you know, yelling at her and she's like, why are you yelling? Or she's, you know, she doesn't have the best one-liners from Atlanta, but she's the most iconic for sure. I mean, I like Candy too. There's so many girls I like from Atlanta. I can't say that. I feel like I'm cheating on them when I say someone else is like really great, you know? Anyway, they said it changed history for bringing props onto the reunion. And then Gizelle had this iconic moment where she sat at a table and someone was like, you're not supposed to sit here, sit somewhere else. And she's like, wherever I sit is the baddest place in the building. Teresa says that calling her co-star a prostitution whore and flipping a table was her moment. But then she talks about the tax thing, and she gets into how like she never thought like being on this show would end up in her being in jail. And she's talking, you know, about like how that happened, and she's opening up, and I don't think I've heard her be that clear about all of it before. And then Vicki interrupts and is like going on about like, yeah, taxes, you should always file your taxes and blah, 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 blah. And she's like listing off all these like administrative things. I don't know. And I'm like, girl, Teresa hates you. Can you shut up? Teresa hates you already, Vicki. I just don't know if Teresa even has the energy to fight with you on this show. She probably doesn't. And then Luann talks about Turks and Caicos, bringing the men back, and her co-stars like waking up to a man's ass in their kitchen and being like, tell us if you're bringing men over or whatever. Don't they know? Don't you know, being on a show with Luann, that like there could be a man around any corner? I feel like that should be part of it. Okay, what I think is really great, though, about the show is that they're bringing in all the castmates from these cities, or old castmates from these cities. Other housewives are coming in to show up to different events that these housewives are hosting. So I think it's awesome because they are bringing in all of the Orange County housewives because it's Vicki's little host city, and they're going to do an event. They're going to go play bunco at this bar that they did this on previously on Orange County, and they're reliving this night type of thing with the new women from Girls Trip, and they're bringing back some favorites from Orange County housewives. So from the group of Orange County housewives on this episode, we are seeing Tamra Judge, Joe De La Rosa, Gianna Keogh, and Heather Dubrow, and Shannon Storms Bador. She comes in messy as fuck. We'll talk about that. I like a shade of late entrance, though. I did think that was chic. I did. So they all come in. They're playing bunco. It's 80s themed. It's ugly. It's tacky. The bar is a little dingy and grubby looking. But whatever. I guess this is like they're, you know, it's an old place. It's probably something else at this point. It's probably not even the same named restaurant. But Tamara's got a lot of energy going on. And I'm like, where is this going to end up? Shannon shows up and she looks so messy. Like, if I was Shannon and I was trying to turn a new leaf and I was like, my dog died and I got in this DUI and I went on Love Hotel and picked this old man that I yelled at the whole time, I would be coming into Girls Trip trying to like look like I had my shit together, okay? I wouldn't be wearing a frazzly wig or anything. I know it's 80s themed, but I would have came like 80s business suit, okay? Because I'd be like, I have to show people that I've got control and everything is okay. Like maybe that's me and that's not Shannon. It clearly isn't Shannon, because Shannon comes in and her energy is, I'm concerned. But all the girls know each other from like Bravo cons and stuff. So they're all connecting and they're all swirling and whirling around. And then they sit down to play games. And Tamara's like, men. And then they bring these men in bad wigs too. And I'm just like, oh my God, okay. And then Gizelle gives us the line like, I know Luann's happy if there's a man, then yeah. If there's men on the show, Luann's gonna be happy. And Luann's like, this is much better. Like literally, it's like, okay, great. We're getting the tropes. We're getting the housewife-isms. Let's get them out of the way now so we can get to some real stuff when the season gets in and these women start to actually like spend more time together, get to know each other. I want to leave all the housewife tropes in the beginning. It's fun to like recount them, recall them, do little games where they're related to the shows we saw, but I don't want like nostalgia vomited into my mouth. I want to like frolic in it, but also be in a new environment. So that's what I'm hoping for as we continue through this show. Anyway, when Shannon shows up, Tamra says some really dark, weird shit. And I was like, okay, I can understand being like, they're in our town. We have to show them that we're a really good time and really fun. So we're going to be really loud and we're going to bring in hot guys. And then we're going to start a little drama because that's what housewives do. And it's the 20th anniversary trip. Like, I get it. But I do want to feel semi-natural. You know what I mean? Like there's some stuff that happens like low key. Like if Vicki's like throwing jabs at Teresa and then Teresa has to come confront her in a couple episodes, that's good. That feels authentic. But like, what the fuck is, you guys, I don't watch OC exclusive. Like I don't watch it in order. I've seen episodes. Sometimes I'll have it on, I'll be cleaning and I won't really be paying too much attention to OC. So I don't know if Tamra is always like this. I know she's direct. Okay. But she literally says the weirdest, coldest shit to Shannon in front of everybody. She's like, I'm the happy one with the husband and the kids going off to school, not you. And I was like, why is she demeaning this woman who's like suicidally like suffering, maybe an alcoholic or something? Like, I don't know. Like, I shouldn't say any of that. But like Shannon is just so emotionally unstable. Her energy is so emotionally unstable. I can feel it through the TV. Okay. I just am like, why is Tamra saying this stuff to her? It could like push her off a cliff. Like it seems cruel. Maybe Tamra's trying to pull her out. Maybe Tamra, because they're the Tres Amigas and they're like besties and stuff. Maybe she's like, you know, maybe I'll tee her up with a T-ball to fight with me to like, you know, keep her on our show coming up. Maybe there's other motives that are generous from Tamra for her to initiate this. But it also just feels like, I was like, ooh, you know, like, ooh, that's a hard hit. The way you said that, like, could you maybe be more tactful or say it in a way that's not as, I don't know. It was just like, maybe wins. It was cringy. It was so cringy. And people were responding to it too. Like they were like, what was that, Tamra? That was fucking weird. And then Gizelle goes with Tamra to the bathroom. And I feel like Gizelle gets it. And Giselle's like, well, if she's not going to give you your scene, Tamra, I know who will give you a scene. Vicki earlier was talking shit about you in front of me. And was it Teresa that was with her? And she was saying how she couldn't, oh no, it was Luann, how she couldn't trust you anymore, Tamra, because you know she doesn't know she can say things to you and you keep it in confidence. And so she was really queuing her up to go fight, and it worked. I mean, Tamra, it was a hot mic thing in the bathroom, which I loved. It was just breaking up the episode a little bit. And then Tamra came out and she was like, what's the deal with this? And Vicki was like, listen, Vicki's all over the place. It is giving Ramona. I know Luann said that twice and it's so true. It is giving Ramona. She's like, I don't want to get in a fight with anybody. I don't want to get in a fight with you. And Gizelle is shady. And the fact that like she wasn't really engaging with Tamra, but then she took it and was like, you know, you were being mean to Shannon. You're being too cruel to her and that stuff, but I don't want to fight with you. But Gizelle's being shady. I like that. I actually liked that redirect because it brings it back to this show. We're not going to see Tamra after this episode, but now Vicki's annoyed with Gizelle trying to stir the pot. She's a little pot stirrer. And maybe that'll get under her skin enough where at some point she explodes on Gizelle or somebody else. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Orange County, I'm glad they started with it because I think it's going to be one of the most boring. I'm so sorry. There can't be someone watching this where they're like, my favorite is Orange County. It has to purely be nostalgia. It hasn't been good in so long. you know? So I'm happy they started there, and I'm happy we're going to Beverly Hills next because I love Beverly Hills. It's one of my favorite Housewives franchises. It blends nostalgia and just like great Housewives, great white Housewives history, great Housewives, period. I mean, oh my God. Lisa Rinna wouldn't miss a cameo, would she? Maybe she'll be in Beverly Hills at the white party. But I'm just so happy that now we're going to Beverly Hills. So episode 2, let's just go right into it because I don't really have much else to say about episode 1. They wake up, they all meet in the hotel, whatever, and they're like, let's get out of Orange County and let's go to Beverly Hills. So we kick it off, and they check into the they're about to leave to go check into the hotel or whatever, and we get this great scene between Kyle and Vicki. Maybe they chose Vicki to like try to like open up more, hear more from her about her relationship stuff, but Kyle, she's really listening to Kyle about her separation with Mauricio and how today is their 30th wedding anniversary, and she says that she feels it really hard when people say that her and Mauricio to them were true love on TV, and if they couldn't make it, no one can. And now they don't believe in it anymore, in love anymore. And that would be hard. And I can imagine how many women are saying that to her at BravoCon. And that's so sad and dark. And you guys, if you're listening, please don't say that to Kyle at BravoCon. Like, no one gets married intending on it to not work out. And God, it's just like shaming the woman. It feels like it's shaming the woman for the marriage failing a little bit. Like, I believed in true love until you and your husband, you guys were it. And now you're not. God, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. And I just feel bad for Kyle because I really feel like Kyle wants to still be with Mauricio and just let him go be open and frolic. And either one, the press and the judgment of the people made them break up and separate, or two, there's a girlfriend that he wanted to be more exclusive with and stuff, and it was just like couldn't be hidden anymore, or I don't know. I just feel like, why can't they be like a modern progressive couple and they just stay married forever? And they have girlfriends and boyfriends. Who cares? They're so rich. Like, their life isn't normal. So let them have boyfriends and girlfriends, because like, what else are they doing? Nothing. Sure, Mauricio works, but for how much longer? Like, they have so much money. He doesn't need to work anymore, Yeah. And she's obviously still feeling touchy about her husband, because later on she goes and confronts Gizelle about saying she wanted to be horizontal with her husband. And like, I get it. Yeah, confront her about it. That's fun. And she apologizes. It's just like, do you still care? Kyle still cares. Anyway, they get in the Sprinter van and Vicki pulls out her laptop. And as I said a little bit earlier, I'm so annoyed that she's like doing this insurance thing and pulling out her laptop. I know her character was like, I'm a boss babe when she came out and was like on her show. But you're on another show now. Like, you're not doing your work on your laptop. Like, you've committed to doing this filming, right? I don't know. I know she has to work. I don't want to see it though on TV. Like, Gizelle's trying to do a scene with you and she's trying to talk to you about something and you are hiding behind a laptop. So I was a little annoyed, Vicki. Do you want to be back on TV? I don't know. Prove it to me. Prove it. So Teresa then jumps in. Okay, so Gizelle tries to confront Vicki about the previous night and being like, I heard you said that I was stirring the pot or something. Because like, she was expecting Vicki to bring it up and start the scene with her. She didn't do it. So now Gizelle's bringing it up in the Sprinter van. And then actually Teresa chimes in too and starts confronting Vicki and says, how about you saying that I changed the most and yelling and pay your taxes and stuff. And Vicki says, oh, the pay your taxes thing, like I was shouting at someone else on the cast of my show. And I was like, okay, I can see that. She didn't really explain that, but it's giving Ramona, and I could see her like being triggered and responding to someone else in her life, not talking to Teresa, but Teresa taking it that way. And then she says that she was the most changed. And then Vicki pretty much says, well, I think maybe something like that came at it. Or no, something she said in the past at BravoCon about Teresa being the most overrated housewife. And then Vicki pretty much sums it up to like, that was probably just jealousy. And then everyone's okay with it. All the housewives are like, oh, okay. Like, you're jealous? Oh, okay. I thought that was really funny and hilarious. And Lisa's like, yeah, all you have to do is like give us a compliment and say you're jealous of us and we'll forgive and we'll forget. So funny. But the one thing I loved and like a little Bravo moment after all of these great things that I've been loving so far, honestly, a little Bravo moment in these 2 episodes for me, guys, Bravo moment, a moment I loved, is that they did this montage where Teresa's like, yeah, I sometimes I need time to think about things before I say them, you know, like I sit with it. And then we see a montage of Teresa just in the back of shots thinking of things. It made me laugh so hard. It really did. And then we basically go, we get there. We check into the hotel. It's nice, whatever. There's a pajama party, okay? And everyone's in their jammies and they're having a good time and they're dancing and they're splitsing. Kyle gives us a splits on the couch. They're all twerking a little, whatever. They're doing that. Like they always do shit like that on Bravo. And they're like, oh my God, all the girls are having a good time. But they really were having a good time. And Lisa Barlow, you guys, she starts crying. And I love Lisa Barlow, okay? I get Lisa Barlow. I understand her. And if you were with us when we covered the last season of Salt Lake City, okay, Chris Byers and I, you will see me defend Lisa Barlow pretty much the whole season. I love her. I love her. She's a sister. She wants to hold on to her marriage. Maybe she's the new housewife whose marriage we believe in now that Kyle's is done. I don't know. Don't put that pressure on them. But you know what I mean? I love Lisa Barlow. And she starts crying because she's having so much fun and she's just really needed to have fun lately. And she goes, it just seems like on my show, every time we start to have a little fun, someone ruins it. And then we see a couple clips of that. And I just feel so bad for Lisa because she did have a hard season. Everyone was coming down on her constantly. I take it back. Heather Gay doesn't deserve to be on this girl's trip because of everything she did to Barlow this season. It's annoying talking about producing and Kyle Richards doing too much of it on her show. Heather was doing it a little bit too much on Salt Lake City. Okay, so I thought that was really sweet. I love her, sue me, whatever. They do this pajama party. It's so heartwarming. Everyone's like kind of bonding with each other. And then the next morning they all get up and they go to brunch at Sutton's house. And I was just like, oh my God. Of course, Kyle got Sutton to host a brunch. And it's very gorgeous. She has her china out. The name cards are written. Luann swaps her place, which I would too. I wouldn't want to be next to Vicki. I'd want to be next to Sutton, the host. And that's a good spot for Luann. She knows how to hold the table, and she knows Sutton will appreciate her being a great guest at the table, not from the other end of the table with Vicki. Like, ugh. I'm sorry, Vicki pissed me off in these episodes. Vicki, you're pissing me off. We do have a leather pants cameo. We do have a Blue Bunny cameo in the scavenger hunt. We have a sunglasses reference. We're getting all the salt and pepperings of Beverly Hills iconography in this brunch. Kyle confronts Gizelle, as I said earlier, about saying she'd want to be horizontal with Mauricio. And I just thought that stuff was all cuckoo bananas. And entertaining enough. Not crazy, but like, it's morning. What do you want? So it's a morning scene. What do you want? They end up going on this scavenger hunt looking for stuff to let the mouse go. Sutton's little catchphrase. Let the mouse go. And so they run around and you could see Kyle and Gizelle being super competitive and wanting to get into it. But Giselle's team ends up taking it and freeing the mouse. Did they get sunglasses? I don't remember. I don't think I even saw. They must have. She wouldn't have kept saying that, I guess, if they didn't get $25,000 sunglasses. I wonder who sponsored them. I really should have paid attention, I guess. Where was my mind? Oh, it was on the preview for next week's episode when they go to the white party. Kyle hosts a white party, and I think that's perfect for Ultimate Girls Trip 20th anniversary. Yes, roaring 20th. Yes, Kyle. Kyle's white parties and her parties in general are stellar. So I'm thrilled. And that's it. I mean, fast episode because it's just me today, you guys. Hopefully I'll have more of our favorite Bravoholics on to talk about the season of Girls Trip with me. I'm looking at FanFest in Charleston in the fall and thinking maybe Bravoholics Anonymous goes down there. Maybe we have a little scavenger hunt. Maybe we, do some promo or something. Do a giveaway. I don't know, host a coffee DJ set I don't know. I'm thinking about stuff. So if you have any ideas or you think something sounds like a good idea, don't hesitate to reach out. If you are listening to this podcast on like Apple Podcasts or Spotify and you didn't know that we have video episodes on YouTube every episode, you should totally go check it out. Bravoholics Book Club, as I plugged at the beginning of the episode, came out last week. We covered Carl Radke's book Cake Eater, and I think it's worth a listen to. I also visited Soft Bar. There's a video on YouTube of my experience at Soft Bar for a viewing party, but also in the podcast episode. So if you already watched it, you saw it. And if not, there's a little side, smaller video clip if you want to go check that out without having to go through the whole episode. Both are there for you, Bravoholics. And I just want to thank you guys for attending this week's meeting. We'll be here every week talking about it. I know this summer it's been a little bit more sparse, but we're all busy. It's summer vacation. Fall's here. Kids are getting back into school now, if they're not already. I think they are. So your regular content will continue through the fall and winter seasons. I'm looking forward to it cooling down because in LA, it's been so hot. It makes me want to die. Unless I'm at the beach. But that's like, what, 1 day every 2 weeks? I need to go back. I need a pool. Hopefully this show takes off and I can get a cool house with a pool and my own little podcast studio to be doing all this good stuff for you guys. Forever and ever and ever. Amen. Okay? Thank you for attending this week's meeting of Bravoholics Anonymous. As always, keep your champagne cold and your taglines iconic. I'll see you soon.